up, what up, what up? It's your boy Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know who I'm in the building with. Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
On this. Yo, you know what's crazy? I be doing that FanDuel shit or whatever. Yo, man, that should be rigged a lot. I be winning, but that should be rigged a lot. Niggas be one assist away. Rondo, not Rondo, you just regular Drew Holiday now. Because you used to be Drew Religion. Now you Drew Holiday. Niggas sold me out on a 25-leg of one assist. All he needed was two. I'm thinking to myself, yo, you going to get that in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Because Jason Tatum did work.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown did work. Derek White always do what he do. I'm like, oh yeah, Drew Religion, he going to get 2 assists in the first quarter. Man, that time was dwindling down. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm about to lose this ticket because of 1 assist.
2 assists?
All he needed to get 2, he only had 1.
Damn.
He had 1. So, but that, gambling is gambling, but you got to keep your addiction down. And, I play like this. I can see how it is an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Because I've won and then feel good about myself and start making uncharacteristic bets and all that. So that's where I think a lot of the discipline comes in. And, people chase losses. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I lost 20. I need to win back 40. I need to win back 60.
What's the most you won on that joint?
2,800.
Okay.
But back-to-back days, though. Twice. The Saturday and the Sunday. I'm talking back-to-back days. That hasn't happened since. Everything after that has been 500s, 400s, 200s, things like that. But that pretty much that damn near 6,000 got me to the point where I was like, okay, breathing room or whatever. But, I was having a conversation with somebody about closure. And I didn't know guys look for closure too. And I kind of feel ignorant to it because anybody can look for closure. Like, I'm not even going to make that a woman thing. Now, granted, it appears that women want it more, but I was talking to a friend of mine and he was pretty much talking about like the closure that he needs from the situation. I don't think I really fully relate to ever wanting closure because I've never really sorted out or whatever. There might have been some, I guess there's different levels of it. There might have been some unresolved conversations that after the fact, and that probably can go under the umbrella of closure. But there was some underlying things that it was like, okay, we kind of stopped dealing with each other because of this situation, but I kind of looking like, well, this situation isn't really what you're saying, and you're probably looking at me like, well, the situation is not really what you're saying. So I guess that's a certain level of closure, so to speak, or whatever. So he was talking. I listened, of course. I kind of told him, I'm like, yo, it sounds like you're not really done with her, but if you are, it sounds like it's some things that you just want to express or whatever. So, because forget that chick is not always the answer. Or F that dude is not always the answer. But the thing about the closure piece that I think rubs me a little wrong is when that person is in a relationship with somebody else now and you still feel you need closure on that last chapter. I got a problem with that. I'm not gonna lie, not huge on that. And if you are feeling that way, I'm gonna need you to do that on your own time and kind of just never let me find out about it. Like, it's not about sneaking. Get your closure, but you can't have a conversation with me about you needing closure with another dude. Some women are gonna look at this and say, "Oh, you're insecure."
So you saying when you in a relationship with a young lady and she comes to you and say she need to go see or have a conversation with her ex to get closure in that relationship. Yeah, I can see how you would take that, because why would you get into another relationship if you really kind of didn't close the chapter on the previous one? And if you didn't close, I understand you needing closure, but if you didn't close that, why are you kind of openly telling me that you still got some unresolved issues with your ex if we're in a relationship? And I guess that would be have to depend on the timing, you know what I mean? Because if y'all in a new relationship and what if y'all in a new relationship, she feel like, I think this is going somewhere, I think this is going to get serious, so now I need to tell you that I need to go and get some closure with my ex so that chapter can fully close so I can move on with you.
This is the reason why I struggle with the whole theory of what closure is. So you want to have and this is how I hear it. You want to have a conversation with your ex, who you love, you have feelings for. He says, let's just say, he says the right things, and he even hits you with a new discovery of something. Like, whoa, that didn't happen. And I may be talking about movies and stuff. Oh, you didn't even write me back. Yeah, I did. Here's the letter. I sent it. It said return to sender because XYZ. You read the letter, it's saying all kind of mystical things that you wanted to hear. So now where you at? Because I be feeling the last dude. Hey, check this out. When a woman is in a relationship with a dude for a certain amount of years and everything like that, that history means something. He knows how to make your burgers. He knows how you like it in the sack. He knows these things. Fact. He knows what to say to get back in. Come on, take it from people like us that have women that we've got on their nerves, and 1 second, and then in the next second, we got them laughing. Forget about whatever. You can only do that when you have that relationship, when you have that inside information. You see what I'm saying? Like that. And women like to say, oh, you insecure, you not this, that, and the third. I think the word insecure just needs to be buried. I'm going to be honest. I kind of think it needs to be buried. Only way it doesn't need to be buried if everybody can just admit that they have some.
Yeah, everybody has insecurities. But I think in a situation of if that chick came to you and said she needed closure, I think that if she didn't come to you and say that, then it will be even a bigger problem. Because what if she did go back and she chose the old thing? You see what I'm saying? Then you need to move on. You probably needed to move on from that anyway. If she's still hung up on the old thing, I've had girls who I dealt with come to talk to me for some closure, even when they was in a relationship. You see what I'm saying? And me, I'm not the type of guy that moves backwards. So I kind of told them what it was.
You are definitely not the backwards guy. I've known you, and I want you to continue, but I'm just being clear. I've known you for over 20 years. You've had some nice joints. My sister, your wife, not gonna say her name, not add nothing, but he doesn't go backwards, ladies. Oh, no. So if you blew it with Negro, that is, I believe, that is exactly what Nas had the joint. No, not even Nas, excuse me, because I go to the sample with Aaron Hall. I guess you knew when blue were a good thing, baby. Yo, I'm telling you, you don't play that. I'm a kind of a habitual backslider. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. It's been a few times in my life where, I've swung the door back open. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Because you always made my eggs and my bacon the same way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's made it that way since. You know what I'm saying? But ladies, with Will, y'all can chalk it. I think with you, and I want you to continue, go out to your life, but a lot of times the things that you share with me, they do it because they'll get into another relationship and they compare, and that's the wrong thing to do. And then they start being like, Jesus, this guy was like this, or whatever.
But I also think that women need closure, or people need closure especially if they weren't the one that really wanted the relationship to end. A lot of times, women kind of, in my experience, they want to know the whys. What was it? And a lot of, and in my case, a lot of times it was like where we was moving, progressing in life, where I was at that time. I didn't really, you know what I mean, see this move into something else. I just wanted to do something else. You see what I'm saying? That's the hardest thing to do. I was having a conversation. It's hard to break up with somebody, especially when they ain't do nothing. You know what I mean? It's hard to break up with somebody when the relationship has just run its course. Like you just don't want to be in this relationship anymore. You want to do something else. How do you have that conversation with somebody? Like it's a real life, like it's not you, it's me type of thing. It's like, yo, I kind of just don't want to be in this anymore. It's run its course. I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? Like it's not really a one thing that you did. Like you ain't cheat on me, or you ain't, you know, do this one thing wrong. You didn't wrong me. It's just that I don't want to do this no more. How do you break up with somebody because of that? Because that's the type of breakup that really be tearing these girls up. You know what I mean? Or they be tearing people up. Like I tried to do everything right. I did everything, and he still, you know what I mean? And that's a hard thing.
That I guess that's a individual situation type thing, because I'm sorry, it seemed like every chick that once they leave me, they always upgrade. Like the word gets out. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Like, so I ain't going front. I'm a little immune to it now. But initially, it seemed that every chick that I was messing with, the word was always meant to get back to me to explain how much of an upgrade it was. And, you know, I don't think I'm chopped liver, but damn, I was looking like I didn't think it was too many of me's walking and running around. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a few, but I think I talked about this before. Like the whole pause, the chick was like, yeah, you know, the 10 inches doesn't help either. I was like, oh yeah, you definitely upgraded in that apartment. like if that brother's walking around with 10 inches,
hey, yo.
I'm just saying, you know, I'm still feeling I'm doing my thing. But if you're going by the numbers, he's got me, no problem. But you didn't have to put it out there. So that's why I'm looking like, like that's my man Mace. Shout out to my man Mace. He said, Joe, see, I'm all big Benzes, coupes, and I'm a trucks. Girls don't really like me. I'm just something to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I started to think, maybe I'm just something to do. Or whatever. And ladies, if you think I'm just something to do, then, you know, oh well, you know. But I'm fun, you know, fun size as y'all say. but what you call it? I was what's up with your man Dirk?
Well, speaking of closure,
good segue.
I guess I don't know. I don't really know the full story, but I guess reportedly, somebody was snitching. He was responsible for, or allegedly was trying to do the murder for hire for the guy that did what he did to Vaughn or whatever. And they I think the feds got him on some tapes or something, conspiracy to try to get somebody killed or something like that.
If they have the wiretaps, and they said they put it on Duke for like 2 years. And like you said, I'm with you. I don't really know all the particulars. I kind of saw it on social media. It didn't do too much to me.
Supposedly he's in custody.
But the thing about it is, murder is an expensive game. That's the whole thing. And it happens a lot.
Yes.
But we talking about expenses in terms of, oh, you're trying to get away with it.
Yes.
You got to have money. You got, like this whole, I'm on the run. Now, most people who commit murder, they just be on the run. Yeah. They not strategically getting out of here. And I always use The Godfather as the example. When Michael killed the cop, killed the other boss joint. Yo, he didn't go to West Baltimore. He didn't go to West Philly. He didn't go to New York City. This dude went to Italy.
Yeah.
For a few years, because he went and got married and all that too. And he just had a whole nother life. And they was like, all right, they found out he was out in Italy because he was at that level, so they gonna find you. They found out he was out there, they tried to kill him, it didn't work. They was like, all right, his people was like, all right, bring him back home now at this point. We'll just deal with it here. We can protect him better when he's here. Now, granted, somebody said that's a movie, but that's the mob and mafia. That kind of stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? We may not know particulars, but if John Gotti wanted you out of there, you was getting out of there. You was getting out of there. But the difference was he wasn't going to run because it was going to be so non-connected to him, but the message was going to get there.
Right. So what do you say to the people? Because I'm hearing a lot of,
they're making fun of him.
Yeah, Dirk ruined his life. He was rich. He shouldn't have did that. Oh, you got to get out of the streets. And what do you say to that?
Isn't he as the one that got the song "All My Life"? Yeah. I thought he was on the recovery road of doing something else. See, my thing is this: Vaughn, who was my little man, I liked him or whatever. Vaughn lived his lyrics. It is what it is. Like, he lived his lyrics.
Well, supposedly so did Dirk. Supposedly so did Dirk.
What I've been hearing about Dirk was this, and I'm not, because I've heard that too, but they was like, it's more so from what I heard and a few people that I know in the Shy, they was like, yo, he lives a lot off of his pops, you know what I'm saying, reputation. Now, I'm not saying Dirk has done nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. For all we know, he could have just been cleaner with how he do things. But the word kind of is, he's put in his dirt, but a lot of the other stuff comes from affiliations and his pops and other people and things like that. But that's not the point. The point is this. Vaughn got killed. I know he definitely has some pressure on him. Like, yo, Dirk, what you gonna do? We can't get at Duke, but you got the means to do this kind of thing. And he's got a decision to make. He's got a decision to make one way or another. So I think he either made it before we even had an idea he made it, or the pressure got to him. But one way or another, he's here now. And if they got him on tape saying anything about it, this is just going to be a terrible way to end this chapter or whatever, because he's up. Dirk is probably about 10 million in, and things like that. And, he's been making money for a long time. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can't turn your life around because the streets ain't going to forget.
So what if that's just who you are, though? Some people, you get older and you get wiser. But some people the streets is just in them. You know what I mean? Some people, what if you just a type of guy that, they killed my man and I can't let that go? I'm not going to say I don't see him as that. I kind of do. Because he's had a lot of people die. His cousins, his brother. Dying is one thing. These dudes got murdered. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So let me correct that. These dudes got killed. He's had enough ammunition to, if he's really going to, what do the kids be saying now? Crash out or whatever. He's had enough ammunition to actually crash out. Like, your people ain't get hit by cars. They're not, they're not getting sick. They walk into the store, they sitting in their cars, they getting lit up. You done been shot at. You see what I'm saying, like that. I don't know. People forever have been trying to live in both worlds.
Yeah.
And I don't know how successful somebody really truly is with that. Even the OGs or whatever. Because at some point, something has to be let go. But I really think what you said about it just being in them, you only know what you know.
Yeah.
And change is actually one of the hardest things to do. And because I think people are saying real cavalier to make it look like it's so easy to do. Yo, you just got to change. You can't just do things because that's just like when people say things like, yo, you just got to be confident. I'm like, you can't tell yourself that you're confident and the next thing you know, you're confident. You can't tell yourself, I'm out of the street. No, it's steps. It's things you have to do. And I just believe only life-changing events can really put forth, where the person will put forth the effort to even get in the mindset of trying to change. And death can be one, but it's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Now, murder is one thing, but if somebody just passed away, we all know we all gonna be the call one day. Somebody's gonna make a call about us one day. Knock on wood, but however long it's done. But at some point, you just have to let it go completely, especially if it's about taking care of your family and things like that. And honestly, I thought one of the saddest ones, and I know this is our spitball episode, Tupac. The saddest thing about Tupac was he never got a chance to turn the corner. Pac died at 25.
Yeah.
This is why, and I want you to jump in, but this is why when Meek Mill was going through what he was going through, and when I made the comment, I said, yo, he need to sit down for a second. He was beefing with a lot of people, getting into silly things, regardless of the judge being who she was and being extra.
Yeah.
You're not making it easy by doing some of the things you're doing. But people took it as hate and jealousy, and I was wishing bad on Meek, because I say, yo, maybe you just need to sit down, because Pac, he got a chance to sit down, and it just got worse for him. He didn't really get that full chance to reconcile and make things right. And a lot of times, when you miss that window, at that point, we see it go completely left. You see what I'm saying? So,
well, I tell young people this all the time. When you crash out, when you make decisions that are maybe not in your best interest, like, you don't just get to erase these decisions. Like, they follow you. It's like a cloud. They there. They on you. You see what I'm saying? So, so sometimes you do things that you can't come back from. You cross bridges that get burned, and you can't go back the other way. You know what I mean? And it catches up to you. And sometimes you die. Sometimes you go to jail. So sometimes it's just too late to change. You know what I mean? You did too much. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of change, Meech, Big Meech is home, right? So the kid just kind of killing people on the internet for welcoming Big Meech home. You know what I mean? They like, oh, we welcome in, a murderer, a tyrant in the city. He did in many cities. He sold drugs, killed people, and kind of ran amok through kind of America for years. And y'all just welcoming this man home. What's your thoughts on the new generation kids like killing people for welcoming Meech home?
Well, for one, it's not their era. So
True.
They're looking at things like, well, he's in jail, and we've heard the stories, we've heard the songs, but they didn't live through it. For me, Meech is okay. He had his run. We all know. We lived through it. He did his time. He's getting out. That's it. So with me saying what I haven't said, I don't post it, like, welcome home. Okay, you, according to society, you've served your debt to society. And here we are. And clearly he's had things. His son is in the show about him. And so clearly he's coming back to, I'm not going to say so much fortune, but opportunities and things. And it's not about picking up right where he left off at, but he's not going to be out here working on 9-to-5 jobs.
Well, he was clearly an ambitious man.
Yeah.
And a masterful businessman. You know what I mean? To run an organization and an operation as big as he did, he has a mind for getting to it. You know what I mean? So I foresee him being a multi-millionaire for years and years and years and years to come, because it's too many it's too many ways to get money now. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's too many industries to get into. It's too many ways to get legal money. And I think that his mind is of one that can latch on to a few of these things, and it can be very lucrative for him. You know what I mean? So I just think that I think he'll be all right. And I agree with you. You did the crime, you did the time, you come home, you paid your debt to society, per se. You know what I mean? And then you just kind of come home and, you know, start fresh and get to it. You know what I mean?
He looked like he put on weight, but as he should have, and everything. So that's normal with that. I saw something though. I sent it. I want to talk about this real quick. I just saw it. Give me 1 second.
Man, Lil Meech posted the picture of his pops getting his nails done.
Oh yeah.
He took it down real quick though.
So somebody put, she didn't choose her child's father wrong. He decided to be a bad father. Let's stop blaming women for everything. Clearly, I believe a woman posted that.
Yeah, probably.
I've never really bought into that. I've heard that a lot, and I wish we had a woman here at this time, and we'll probably revisit this when we get one. But I just don't see somebody that's truly a responsible person, individual, all of a sudden becoming non-responsible purposely once a child gets there. Now, I can understand if you don't want to deal with the woman no more or this, that, and the third. But I don't see somebody that pays their bills and been paying their car note, been paying bills, never buying nothing, wait till they have a kid to all of a sudden say, nah, I'm just not doing nothing else. And I decide to be a bum and going to lose. I don't see that. I be feeling women do be picking a lot of these knucklehead dudes that gave a facade of being irresponsible and you believed more in it and then come to find out, oh yeah, he's always got a job. You know what that's code for? He's always got a job? Yeah, that means he's coming from job to job to job. Because we get into the age, and we've been to the age, you got a job or you got a career.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think what I'm doing now was going to be a career or whatever, but this is what it is. Not starting over in a new industry, at least not in the corporate world in terms of that. What we do on the side and things like that. Don't let the money dictate how you want to do things, but if the podcast is the thing, then that's the thing or whatever. But I'm not doing things just for a job.
Yeah.
At this point. And I'm looking like, I feel a lot of women that mess with a dude with a job and just be like, well, he's always had jobs. Yeah, because he stays there for 2 months. And then he gets another job someplace else. He stays there for 6 months. Stays in the next one for a year. But you're looking at it like, oh, well, he's always working. Yeah, but it's not steady. Just like when we used to go on interviews.
Yeah.
And they ask you about, name your last 5 jobs. I feel once you work that one joint for at least 8-9 years, I ain't putting nothing else.
Right.
Putting that. That's my experience. What did you do prior to that? Now, because normally when I used to do that, they would ask for one more job before that one. But they understood. I was like, yo, why am I giving you 50 jobs for? No, here.
Yeah.
This is what it is. So I don't fully agree with that. I fully be like, yo, y'all need to start vetting dudes a lot better. And guys too.
I agree to a certain extent.
Okay.
I think that a woman can be manipulated and hoodwinked into thinking that that this man is a good dude. You know what I mean? Men know what to say sometimes to get in the good graces of a woman. Now, that doesn't mean you have his child. And by that I mean you can prevent its ways as birth control. You know what I mean? To prevent having a baby. And then way back in the day, a few years ago, women had a choice in whether to keep a child if they got pregnant or not. You know what I mean? So if you chose to have this child or chose to get pregnant by this man without actually knowing that this is a good man, that's a decision that you made. You know what I mean? And I though I think it's a bad decision, I always give women grace. Like, you get one bad baby dad. But if you got multiple, then it's a pattern of behavior. You know what I mean? It's a pattern of behavior of you just choosing non-credible men to procreate with. You know what I mean? And you don't get to be upset or get pity for continuing to choose terrible people to have a child with. You know what I mean? Maybe you should not be having sex with these terrible people. You know what I mean? Because I often say, because people always say, how could she get pregnant by him? Easy, by fucking him. That is, every time you have sex, you can get pregnant. It's a possibility. So that's one thing. But, you know, to say stop blaming women is, I feel like they control kind of the situation. You get to choose who you have sex with. Men choose who they try to have sex with. Women get to pick and choose who they have sex with. I'm sorry. Like, you can literally say no. You know what I mean? Men is always down. For the most part, men are always down. You know what I mean? But women, y'all have the choice. You know what I mean? And you can choose to not have babies by people. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what y'all wanted to do. So that's why I say a lot of times women get what they was asking for. So we're going to be back next week because we're going to get a few women on this couch because this conversation is going to be continued later. This is Oshin's View.
Peace.
She got